Welcome to Creator Upload, your creator comedy podcast. I'm Lauren Schnipper.
And I'm Joshua Cohen, hot off the streets of Texas.
Hot off. You look a little bit moist right now. Ew, that word is terrible. I went to South by last year. You went to South by this year. I love how we tag team.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear, like, when I went last year, it felt to me like the creator sort of track wanted to be what the podcast track sort of had become, which was probably 5 or so years ago, was like the little sort of new kind of kid in town that was trying to be a thing. Feels like it's a very established, the podcast track, whereas the creator economy track felt very kind of, I don't want to say hodgepodge, but still like early days. Curious what your experience was, Joshua, this year.
Lauren, first of all, when you went there last year, I think the Austin Convention Center was still in operation.
Yes.
They're going through like a $1.6 billion renovation. It's going to be done at the end of 2028.
You needed it. Go on.
Sure.
I mean, I've been going to podcasts to South by on and off for over a decade, and like, you needed it. Go on.
So that was closed down, and all the official South by Southwest events and unofficial South by Southwest events happened at disparate locations near the convention center, but not within it. I liked it. I liked the disjointed, disparate locations. It made it feel more fluid, like you were running into people more. Also, navigating through that convention center, it's a lot of walking.
It's a lot of walking.
You
walk into one side, you think I'm here, and you're like, no, you got another mile to go, buddy.
A lot of walking.
You got
And so
another mile
in
to go.
terms of content, though, maybe because they had all these separate locations, it wasn't as easy to figure out what you were competing against in terms of programming.
Oh,
because-
yeah, that makes sense, because I was seeing the podcast track like right there last year.
Right. And so
Right.
I was mainly going to the creator track. I saw some great panels there. And also there was this co-located event by Sounds Profitable, which is this professional organization for podcasters and entities in the podcast ecosystem. They had their own conference going on called Podcast Evolution, which was fantastic too. So lots of the podcast people were hanging out there. They had live podcasts that were going on at that venue. And then throughout the city at different hotels, you had pockets of, again, official South by Southwest events and unofficial ones. In terms of creator programming for the official South by Southwest schedule, I thought it was good. It wasn't getting like deep dives into the ecosystem or idiosyncrasies
Like,
about
was there
the
like a
ecosystem.
trend that they were like highlight? Like, what were people talking? Like, what's like coming out? Like, coming out of certain conventions, you feel like there's like a vibe. Like, people are talking about AI, which everybody's talking about AI. But like, what are people talking about?
Everybody's talking about AI. But I think it was our ecosystem's too big now to encapsulate into like one word takeaway from everything that was happening.
Sounds lazy. Go on. Go on. Sounds like ill-prepared, but go on.
So you had things like Jon Youshaei gave a great keynote. Have you seen Jon Youshaei give a keynote?
Have I seen him actually give a keynote? I think that actually maybe I have not. I know, friend of ours, the pod, if you will. He's the best, but I don't know if I've actually seen him give a keynote, but I'm sure it was fantastic.
And so Jon Youshaei, who's a creator, he used to be at YouTube, then at Instagram, and then started his creator journey, and is a very successful creator, has a docu-series coming out with Mr. Beast this week, which he showed a preview of. When he goes up on stage, he just enters this other persona, which lots of people do when the camera's on.
Nope, this is how I am all the time. Go on.
Lots of people, if they want to give off a better impression of themselves.
Nope, just
sometimes
this.
when the camera's on or they go up
Nope.
on stage, they might
Sure.
just elicit a different type of energy.
No,
Not the case here. What you
No.
see is what you get. You're the
Yep.
genuine article.
Yep. Keep going.
Planes,
'Cause
Trains, and Automobiles
He becomes
was
what is
based on Lauren Schnipper.
so he becomes like Beyonce's alter ego, Sasha Fierce.
Or like Kobe Bryant's alter ego, Black Mamba.
There you go. Okay, so
Some version of that.
uh-huh.
And he talks about his creator journey. A few interesting takeaways from that were, one, he says you should be able to distill down your brand into one word. We're
What's
sensing
his?
a theme here already.
What's his?
His theme is masterclass.
Okay.
So that's his litmus test that he puts all of his different content against. He mentioned that Airax is mischief. I like it. I think it makes sense.
I like it.
Also, during this keynote, he was also giving other hints, tips, and tricks how to become a creator and low-hanging fruit that you can do in order to elevate your game to the next level. So we have things like that, which feels like it can run the gamut, but more of like an introductory class for people early on in their creator journey. People who are
Sure.
farther on in their creator journey are going to get a lot out of it too, but basically for people that are like kind of just getting started.
But can I just take a double click on that for 2 seconds? I actually really like that because I think it's like, we've talked about this a lot, but there's like actually very few people that like rise to the top in terms of like being a creator. It's really, really difficult for all the reasons that we've discussed a million times. But apparently every single person wants to be a creator. But I think that like what that sort of framework forces is like direction and a North Star and treating this like a business from day one, but in a very kind of call it not simple in a bad way, but like just like, if you don't know why you're doing this and you don't know why you're like, you know, um, making content, like it's always gonna feel weird. Like I had a buddy who like, he was a comedian and he had like a very viral video like happen and he's like, what do I do now? And I was like more. And he started just doing things that were like completely just weird and not like which is it's fine if that's the thing, but like he didn't also like go off of what he actually was originally kind of becoming a little bit known for, and it just was all over the map. And then, not unsurprisingly, like didn't go anywhere. You know what I
I
mean?
think what you're talking about, Lauren, is authenticity.
It's my favorite word. Go
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
That person was perhaps being inauthentic in a world that really rewards authenticity. In any
Okay.
case, so have those types of keynotes from Jon Youshaei. Meanwhile, Agentio CEO Arthur Leopold, along with Rhett and Link and Kaya Yuria from Scalable, were on stage talking about influencer marketing on YouTube and how there's an incredible opportunity there. Arthur came out with some great stats where creators command something like 50% of entertainment attention, but only 2 cents on every dollar in terms of advertising towards that attention.
Interesting. I wonder what that comes from, but sure. Okay.
And how there's a huge opportunity for brands to get involved in this ecosystem, because when they do, they see all of their like brand lift, ROAS, KPIs, average time viewed per their media that they're producing with creators, etc., all go upward in a positive direction when they're working with creators in some capacity. And then I went to another panel with Zach from the Try Guys, Max from Creator Camp, and Lauren Schuyler, who's a partner at creative ad agency Oust, where they were talking about brand creator relationships as well. What I really like that Zach said, and I've been thinking about this a lot, is whether you like it or not, these creator communities have become like the third space for people, where it used to be like the park, libraries, bars, clubs, Mason rooms, etc. used to be the third space for people to aggregate and congregate in. Roller derbies, ice hockey rinks.
I think that's totally the wrong analogy. I could not hard disagree with that. I think third spaces are so important right now. I think people are stopping doing them. I don't think that creator communities are replacing third spaces in this as much as like replacing entertainment in general. And there's actually this resurgence with those third spaces. I have a friend who has a venture fund right now I think it's called like Third Spaces. And so there's like a huge movement right now to like IRL South by. South by itself could be considered like a third space versus like I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I don't think I agree with that. I think it's replacing entertainment and not as much as replacing third spaces, but I don't know.
Maybe the product that comes out of that, but he said the community that develоps around it, whether we like it or not, and he was clear on saying that, has developed into these third space like.
I mean, this is what like temples and churches and stuff that were considered third spaces. Like I actually like this is something I'm very interested in. Keep going.
Me too. And it was just interesting to hear. This has been circulating in my brain a little bit, especially after our interview with Whatnot, where this like online shopping community can take the place of a old school baseball card store. And you can interact with other people that are watching this programming. I've been thinking a lot about third spaces since then, so it's interesting to hear Zach bring it up.
Yeah.
And Lauren, I went to all these events around influencer marketing, especially on YouTube, because as you know, we have this platform, Gospel Stats, which is this YouTube sponsorship intelligence platform. It's fantastic. If you want to check it out, go to gospelstats.com. And I guess if I could encapsulate all of that into one word, it would be bullish. People are really bullish on YouTube, bullish on this ecosystem, bullish on more brands getting involved with creators in bigger, more longer term ways. Zach said that he's starting to see brand deals coalesce in more meaningful, impactful, and longer term ways than he has really in the history of doing the Try Guys. And there's more opportunities that are presenting themselves all the time. So I think we're bullish on this space.
Did you go to any I know there were a lot of, like, creator events and, like, not panels and stuff. Did you go to any of that stuff, Josh?
Yes, Lauren, I went to a lot of those, and some of them did have their own programming set up. Monica Khan put on the Great Creator Gold event. I was a moderator for one of those panels, had a fantastic time. Shir
Oh, he was a mo
Lazar.
I didn't know he was moderating, and he just threw I didn't realize we were do okay. Alright, I wasn't aware. Go on.
Lauren, you weren't there,
Yeah.
and I'll reluctantly pick up a microphone and say things into it in front of people.
Reluctantly. Go on.
Reluctantly. Shir Lazar put on a Creator Palooza event with programming.
Uh-huh.
Max and team from Creator Camp had their own panel at an amazing office building in Austin, which is a converted middle school. So cool. Like 25-foot ceilings. Incredible.
Amazing.
Felt very Austin-y vibes. I took a Lime scooter there around 2 miles.
Oh,
It
he
was
loves
amazing.
he loves
Oh,
to
man,
scoot
I love a
everybody. He's a
scooter.
scooter, but no helmet, just like freeballing it, like just let's go. Did you have tacos and queso? Did you like get some barbecue in anything?
I'm trying to lower my sodium intake.
Oh God, this is so boring.
It's so boring, right? It's so boring.
No,
Yeah.
talk about it slowly. Let's really like who should be going to South by in the creator economy? Like obviously some
I
conferences
think
are
almost
industry.
like I think almost everybody should be going to South by who's in the creator economy. I answered that like
Okay.
it was a prompt in a 4th grade writing class. But I really do think that should happen because I think there's so much energy around this ecosystem, and there's
Yeah.
so many parts to it that you don't know about. Like I went to a dinner with a bunch of managers and sellers and people that run these influencer marketing agencies, and these people were hustlers. They're crushing it. And I got home from the dinner and I realized my website is around like 3 to 4 years younger than everyone who was at that table.
So that means that you're old. Like so doing that math backwards, it's like they were born and then 3 years later you started Tube Filter.
Yes, exactly.
So like that's weird.
So,
That was like that
so
okay.
odd.
That was like probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I get invited to this like creator brunch at the San Vicente Bungalows, which is like super, it's like what Soho House used to be. It's like a thing. And I like, put on a cute outfit, right? And I get up in there. It's one of these places you have to cover your phone when you get there. Like it's a whole thing. And I walk in and you got like every celebrity there with like their kids because they're like having brunch, like Amy Adams and like it was like all these people. And like they're all just like in like basically sweats. And I'm in like an outfit. You know what I mean? And I'm like feel so over like I wasn't like dressed up, but I like look cute. I wasn't wearing sweats. And I sit at the table and like all these like and a couple of these are like big, founders of companies or whatever. They were great people, but I just felt like I just felt like a mom who like hadn't, which is all true, who like hadn't left the house one time. So
There you go.
I was like, oh my God, when did this happen? It just creeps up on you people. Anyway.
Yeah, that wasn't how I felt at all.
Yeah, no, so it feels about exactly the same. It feels
But
like,
being around that energy and looking at how these people that are new to this ecosystem but grew up in this ecosystem are approaching and interacting
So
and thriving in this ecosystem is fundamentally different than
Yes.
how people who had jobs or had careers that existed before this are interacting with it. So I
Yep.
think it's really interesting to get exposed to those types of people and hearing about their journeys. And then incorporating that into your own businesses.
All right, I want to talk about just a couple other things this week. Big news coming out of sort of Netflix and YouTube. So Phil Rosenthal, who's one of the producers of Everybody Loves Raymond, which was like a huge sitcom that was on from like 1986 to 2005, has had a show on Netflix called Somebody Feed Phil. He's like a big foodie. His daughter actually just opened a very popular diner in LA. It's so funny. It's like literally like it's kind of like the fanciest diner you've ever been to called Max and Helen's, which is named after the grandparents. And he's like I think he's part owner. It's a whole thing. He's a big foodie. He's had this show on Netflix called Somebody Feed Phil since 2008. It's 8 seasons deep. It's one of the longest running kind of shows unscripted on Netflix. And per the Hollywood Reporter, Somebody Feed Phil is going to be leaving Netflix and going to YouTube, which is just fascinating. It's part of a deal. It's not like a YouTube is doing this. It's part of a deal between his production company and Banijay Entertainment. And they're going to probably do more. They said they're going to plan to release more unscripted content from Rosenthal across other YouTube and other platforms. Rosenthal pointed to Netflix subscription price as a reason for the move. He said, one of the things I always loved about Everybody Loves Raymond was that it was free to watch everywhere. We are thrilled to announce that Somebody Feed Phil will move to YouTube, where our message of family, friendship, food, travel, and laughs can reach the most people. Ben Samick who is the CEO of Banijay, said YouTube is a huge part of that strategy. Our goal is to then build the rest of the digital ecosystem and distribution system with his content, both Somebody Feed Phil and his other content that we intend to produce. So, and Samick also said, if you look at the numbers for AVOD services, YouTube is only continuing to grow. This is just so fascinating because I think what we're seeing a lot of also is, you see YouTubers like getting deals with Netflix, right? So like, you've got the Mark Rovers of the world and on, which I like for, as people that listen to this podcast know that I'm pretty, as my kids would call strict with what I allow them to watch TV. And it's not that I don't think there's some great content on YouTube, but I think there's a lot of really not great content for kids. So what I allow them to do mostly is watch YouTubers on other platforms. Huge Rober fans in this house as an example. This is very, and I think this is like one of those, I don't want to call it watershed, but this is a huge moment for like a very, very big producer. It's not, and again, YouTube, as far as I know, has nothing to do with it. They're not doing like original programming. This isn't about this. This is like about that probably, Banijay is going to sell against this and like they're going to make a bunch of money like you would have made, in some respects when you're putting a show on a broadcast TV station. And I just think this is really a major, major move. Do you have thoughts about this?
Can we just be real for a second, though? Like, if Phil Rosenthal and the producers behind Somebody Feed Phil were getting significant dollars from Netflix, they wouldn't be doing this.
Well, I think there's that, but I also think, to sort of piggyback, but also maybe a little bit of a different perspective, if Phil Rosenthal weren't already super wealthy and successful, he probably wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
But because he has the freedom, like he doesn't, I don't want to say need the money, but you know what I mean? Like he's made his fortune. And so he's done really well there. And but I do think that it's unusual because most people like him would just be like, Netflix, pay me more, and shop it around to other kind of subscription platforms, right? Where he's not doing that. He's actually doing a really innovative thing, which is like, all right, Netflix, you're not going to pay. I mean, I can imagine, right? Allegedly. No, all right, Netflix, you're not going to pay me. I'm going to go partner with somebody else who's going to find these major brand deals and we're going to just like do what we want. I don't have to like be beholden to literally anybody kind of. So I think it takes a certain kind of person, but I also think that certain type of person like has to have made a lot of money. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like but most people in this position would still not do it though. At least I think he's setting a real precedent here. This is pretty huge.
I think that's fair. I appreciate his sentiment too, that he liked that Everybody Loves Raymond was free to watch on terrestrial television. That being said, he did have 8 seasons of his show on Netflix from 2018 to 2025. Yeah. So he wasn't feeling that strongly about it during that time when he was making the money.
Do you think this motivates a Netflix to start thinking about an ad-only option, like a free ad-only option?
Lauren, I think that brings up a really interesting point where does Netflix in the future have to have an ad-only option in order to compete with YouTube? Like YouTube had only long-form programming and they had to bring in shorts because everybody was going to TikTok and Instagram and that's where creators were starting their journey. So they needed a bigger top of funnel to get creators into their ecosystem. Is Netflix going to have to do that in the future?
I think 100%. I think 100%. I think the future, in my opinion, is going to be like a really high ad tier with, a really high subscription. I think the subscription is going to get even higher, no ads, and then it's just going to be ads free. I think definitely. There's
some
no
type
way.
of curated programming.
There's no way. Yeah, probably like you would probably get second. We won't get like as early access to stuff or whatever like that. There's no way because like this is. I don't know. This is one of those things where everybody's like, it's a one-off. It won't happen again. But then everybody's like, I mean, one of the main things that they touted was the reason they're seeing these numbers grow on YouTube. Like, that's the bottom line. That's where people are watching content.
Right.
Every kind of content.
It is fair to say that Somebody Feed Phil maybe didn't want to take this jump before because YouTube wasn't as top of mind, wasn't as dominating in the space, etc.
100%.
And I do think that this gives other people the opportunity to open their eyes and be like, oh, if it worked for Phil Rosenthal, maybe it'll work for us too. Because Phil Rosenthal, like you said, if it does take someone who has a lot of dough and still likes what they're doing to make this kind of jump, there's still lots of people in Hollywood like that can do the same thing.
No, 100%. 100%. So I think it's pretty fascinating. Let's see what it looks like a year from now. All right, Josh, uploads and downloads. I'm going to start with one. TikTok and iHeart Media are launching a radio station and a podcast network. TikTok Radio from iHeart is what the official name will be. It will be available across digital and terrestrial airways. Listeners can tune in via the iHeart Radio app or one of 28 broadcast stations. frequencies across many major cities, including New York, Los Angeles, and Atlanta. It will include the usual top 40 fare, as well as some segments that will make the station more feel more TikTok-y, like, life hacks and hot takes and all that kind of stuff. I just want to say this is what TikTok should be doing. Like, this is the shit that, like, they should be. This is like when people talk about the good part of the internet, like the best part of TikTok, as we all know, is the dancing and the music. Like, that's the best part. Like, that's what it should be for, full stop, period, nothing else. Like, this is where people will find the new music. This is where, and there should be major collaborations happening between artists and TikTok, which there are, and radio. Like, this is the part that makes me be like, this is fine. Like, this is good. Let's continue on this train. I approve. Thank you.
So, Lauren, this announcement came out during South by Southwest, and I will say I talked to some people from TikTok who were involved in the announcement and some people from iHeart who were involved in the announcement. They were both very excited about this and very bullish. The people from iHeart, and I talked to some creators that were involved in this too, and you could feel that energy. The people from iHeart were excited because the creators were excited. And I think creators were excited because this is another kind of like accolade or some not infinite real estate that they can occupy that other people can tune in and listen to in a way that's meaningful for them, but different from their regularly scheduled programming.
Right.
It's kind of like putting people on billboards in Los Angeles to promote whatever show they're on. Like, maybe the billboard does something to get people to go to your channel or promote your product or whatever it is that the creator's doing, but it also just looks really cool to have a billboard in LA that you can take a picture of and then send to your parents.
Totally.
Similarly, I think having your own kind of like podcast, radio station, etc., it's this unique real estate that you have that your other friends on TikTok don't, but they want it now because there's a finite amount of it. Quick upload for you. Google is apparently making a play to get into the micro drama game. They, along with management firm Range Media Partners, are launching a production initiative that will see both companies make a push into this growing vertical video format. The venture is called 100 Zeros, and it's announced a slate of scripted and non-scripted projects along with some noted Hollywood talent. Among them is The Bachelor creator Mike Fleiss, Charlie Angel's director Mick G, American Idol creator Simon Fuller, and SNL star Keeman Thompson via his production banner with John Ryan Jr., Artists for Artists. Everybody's just trying to capitalize on this.
Everybody's doing it, man. I feel like this is NFTs. Is it going to stay? Is it going to go? I don't know.
You heard it here first. Micro dramas like NFTs. I just think these are way more consumable and snackable. People are already consuming verticalized content on their phone.
It's unclear if you can make any money.
Okay.
Right, but it's unclear if you can make any money off this. And if Google and Range can't make any money off of this, then they're not going to keep doing it, you know?
That's fair. It's different to put a ton of time, energy, and resources into this and have it give you AdSense revenue versus if you're a creator and your buddies and you're making something like making low mid six figures a year for an individual channel is meaningful. For some big initiative, not so much.
It has to solve some sort of problem, if not make a lot of money. Like, if there's a funnel pro thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's really like upping their new user acquisition. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that have to like go right for them to continue, but we'll see. All right, dude. I think we did it.
Yep, Lauren, I think that's it. I'll see you threatening to make the jump from Netflix to YouTube.
As my children say, I'm always threatening, so that feels right.
And if not there, next week on Creator Upload. Today's show was produced by Lauren Schnipper, Joshua Cohen, that's me, and Adam Connor. It's edited by Adam Connor too. Original music is by London Bridge. You can check him out on Instagram at London Bridge Music. Make sure you subscribe to Creator Upload right here on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, as well Spotify, or wherever you're listening. While you're there, give us a rating and leave us a comment. If you want to talk, hit us up at info@creatorupload.com. If you like our show, recommend it to a friend. If you love it, just tell everyone. Thanks for listening to Creator Upload, and we will be back next week.